Ooh, check out my giant robot shirt. I'm like part of the giant robot club. Ooh, isn't that fancy? Ooh, here's the back. Here, let me get you a good look. And there's some nutcase working on a giant robot. Over here it says Giant Robot Project. And in the background in white it says GRP. And then over here it says I love robots. And here's a squirrel. And there's a frog and some snails running for their lives. Oh yeah, and here's my website over here. Done sideways, of course. So that's the front, which I think is pretty sweet. And then here's the back. And now this is like a humongous giant robot. And here's a little guy pulling like a giant robot piece, humongous giant robot piece into place. And there's a giant, huge megabolt there. Ooh, I think I'm gonna call them megabolts, yeah. And then here's my website again. And if anyone wants, you know, a giant robot t-shirt, because they're pretty cool, you can get one from me, because, you know, I have them. Okay. Just go to like my website, that right there, see, woo, right over there, jaimie.com, and click on the donate to the Giant Robot Project button, because I'm not going to set up another shirt button, but just donate at least $15 if you're in North America, and at least $20 if you're on a, you know, in some foreign country somewhere, because I looked into shipping prices and I can make them and ship them for that much. But I'll write all that down on the side, don't worry. In the notes, make sure you put your shirt size and your address and what color you'd like. I think the grays come out really nice. If you want another color, just let me know, and I'll see if I can find it if I can't. Like if you ask for something like, can I have morning sun breeze? I might just respond, I don't know what color morning sun breeze is. I'm sorry. Here's green. And I say, you know, donate at least, you know, that amount of money, because I wouldn't want to limit anyone. If you wanted to send, you know, like $1 million and, you know, like start funding the huge giant mega robot, that would be pretty sweet. And just let me know, you know, how many shirts you wanted. Not that I expect anyone to send like billions of dollars or anything, but I wouldn't want to, you know, turn it down. Also, if you want like a long sleeve one or like some pants with this on it or something, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. I'll write all the fancy information on the side, and I'll make sure it's on my website very soon. I guess I should do that today. Oh yeah, and I'm sure it's implied, but all proceeds go to giant robots. Okay, now we're gonna go back in time to when it was before I had the shirts, and then you can see how I made them. I just didn't want to put that at the beginning, and then you have to go, well, never mind. Well, I ran out of argon, which I need to weld, because when you're welding aluminum, you use argon so it doesn't burn. And there's been some mention of t-shirts and stuff, and now that I feel like I need to have some giant robot t-shirts, I'm starting to design them. And now this is the junk that I've got so far. Yeah, I want to have little stuff on the sleeves, because I always like that when the sleeves of my shirt have stuff on them too. And you know, there's got to be some awesomeness in there, and I think I want to have some I love robots, or I screw robots, or whatever, you know. And then on the front, I want to have like a big picture of like all kinds of craziness. Well, here's what I've got so far. Right here. See, there's some weird guy building his giant robot. I don't know who that is. I mean, who could that be? And then in the background, it's got like GRP, like way in the background. And then for anyone who doesn't know what GRP is your Giant Robot Project. And then, you know, I support it because, you know, anyone who has a t-shirt and they bought it, then they're helping build the giant robot. And then I put a smiley face in here because, you know, it's happy. And here's my drill going crazy, and there's sparks flying off it, and, you know, of course they have my chains on and stuff. And then there's like, you know, there's a frog that lives in the workshop, and I keep kicking him out, but he keeps coming back. So I think he's just gonna live inside there. So he's there. And then there's also a chipmunk that keeps coming by. He must think it's cool. And then Deshana over here. Hey Deshana, what's up? She was like, where's the mice? And well, the mice have been eating my strawberries off my garden, so there's the mice, so there. And then we've got some snails over here. Run for your lives! Anyway, I'm gonna draw this bigger and see if I can make it into a stencil, because that's how I think I want to make the t-shirts, is like make a stencil and then spray paint it on the shirt. I've done that before and it worked pretty good. Oh yeah, the whole point of mentioning that I ran out of argon is that it's Sunday today and I can't get any till tomorrow, so today I can't really do any welding, so I'm working on, you know, t-shirts. Oh yeah, and there also definitely has to be something about take back the junkyards, because it's horrible how all the, well, not all of them, but most of the junkyards won't let people take stuff. Like, that's half of what the giant robot's made out of. It's junk from the junkyard. Then I'm going to blow this up to the regular size, so I'm going to do that, you know, old style trick where you draw a grid on it, and then draw a grid on the thing you're doing it to blow it up, a bigger grid, and then, you know, you can just draw it in what's in each square. I could take a picture and go put it on my projector and put it on the thing, but I'm going to want to change some details as I go, so I'm going to do it this way. Here's my original picture, and here it is blown up twice the size, and I started cutting out over here. I think it'll come out good. It's going to be a lot of cutting though.
I don't remember.
I went out and bought a bunch of shirts and some spray paint and bought some argon. Oh, I got welding wire too. But anyway, that's not what we're doing right now. Here's my stencils. And I've tried a couple shirts. Actually, I'm wearing one right now. It was the first test one. It's like a long thing. I'll show you better in a second. So I'm doing this in white in the background, and then this in black. So let's go do that over here. I have this piece of plastic that I can stretch a shirt over so it stays flat. And here's a shirt. I need both hands. Hold on. There, now the piece of plastic's wearing a shirt. Yay! And this is the front. Alright, let me sit this down on my ultra-modern printing press area. Okay, let's slap one of these suckers down. And now that guy. I think I got it all. Sweet. There you go, you got this nutcase over here working on his giant robot. Here's a little tiny one I did for Deshana. I had to stretch the shirt out so the image is a little shrunken. But that, I think it works out pretty good. Oh, and here's another one, very exciting stuff. Oh yeah, and of course I'm wearing one, so yeah. The best part is on these kind of shirts, my website's in my armpit. I'm going to try just spray painting this word on the back, my website on the back. And I might get a bit of this other stuff, but I think that'll be cool anyway. Yeah, I think that works pretty good. Well, here's at the top of the shirt. I think I like it at the bottom more. Way down there. Okay, I have some giant roboting to do. I gotta go. Okay, I wanted to have something kind of inspirational on the back of the shirt. And I was eating breakfast, you know, before I went to work on my giant robot. And I made this. I like it. So I'm going to put that on the back. Oh, I'm so psyched that the sun's out today. Oops. Oh, cool. There is another thing. I don't want to get into super amounts of cheesiness or anything, but you know, everything in the universe is kind of connected, and I'm thinking that if everyone wearing one of these fancy robot shirts does inspirational things and like doesn't quit whenever they're wearing their special shirt, maybe that'll help inspire. You know, if I know that other people are wearing the giant robot shirt and they're not quitting on things that are difficult, then you know, when I'm wearing it, I'll get inspired more too, just by thinking about those other people. So I say that everyone who's wearing the giant robot shirts, like, you know, when you need to go into your boss's office and quit your stupid job because you hate it so you can do something awesome, wear your giant robot shirt and go in there and tell them where to go, or just leave, or whatever. Or if you have something really hard to do, you know, put on your giant robot shirt. It might help inspire you. Anyway, I think that would be a cool thing to do, because then maybe we can have some universal inspiration since we're getting universal health care. Oh right, I almost forgot. I'm going to attempt to send a t-shirt to everyone who previously donated to the Giant Robot Project.